Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I've got a 10 inch work wreath form, and I'm just showing you. I've got on the inner ring, I've got four pipe cleaners on each of the crossbars, and then on the middle ring I got one in between each crossbar. So there's a total of 8 pipe cleaners on this wreath form. Here I've got some mesh from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to do a cruffle method. So this wreath only takes one roll of mesh, and I cut each of the pieces at 40 inches. I did that because this is such a thin, flimsy mesh from Hobby Lobby that it was just going to help make it a little bit full. So I curl up 3 times on one end, clip it, turn it around, curl up 3 more times on the opposite end, and then I just walk my fingers up the middle. And that's how you make a cruffle. And then I just pinch it right in the middle and add it right on top of a pipe cleaner. And you'll see that I'll do that for each one of these pipe cleaners. Now here I am only using one 2.5 inch wired ribbon, and I cut it at 12 inches. I cut it shorter because the wreath frame is a little bit smaller. And I chose to use just one ribbon because I will be adding more to this wire frame. But all I do is I dovetail the ends, and then I fold it in half, and I go ahead and pinch it up in the middle and then put it right on top of the pipe cleaners. Now I don't do it right here, but you'll see towards the end that I do go back and I do trim off my pipe cleaners. I left them because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. I wasn't sure if I was going to need them for the florals that I added in, but I decided not to. And then I got this really cute Hey Y'all fall sign from Temu, and it had holes in it already, so I just attached some floral wire and I'm feeding it through some of the mesh to get it onto the wreath frame. Make sure that when you're attaching your signs, you're not attaching it too tight. And you'll see here where I kind of mess up a little bit, where I should have checked the alignment of the sign before I just started, but I didn't. So the sign was a little lower, and then I'll have to move it to where the sign sits more high, which I'm doing right there. And then I'm just adjusting and making sure it's where I want it to be. And then I just tighten up the sign. But as you see, there's a little pull and a little play in that sign. So that's a good thing, because that means it's not too tight on the wreath frame, because then what it'll do is it'll pull it down, and you don't want that look. Or at least I don't. So I have a couple of Dollar Tree picks for the fall with sunflowers, pumpkins, a little bit of greenery, and I think the other stem, I think they're called heather. I can't remember what it's called. It wasn't listed on there as what it was named, but I thought I'd seen something before where that's what they were called, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I just go through and make sure that I attach something to each of the centers of the tailpipes. I'm thinking of ribbon tails and pipe cleaners, but just putting something in the middle of the ribbon tails, and then also in between the ribbon tails I'll go back and add something too, just to fill up the wreath a little bit more. So this definitely took 2 of the Dollar Tree stem or bundles, and then I had some of the cream florals as well, and I went back and I put those around towards the bottom. And I'm using the Gorilla Glue hot glue, and this is how it turned out. I think it's so pretty. Very nice for just a 10-inch wreath frame, and it's very full. Well, I thank you guys for stopping by and watching today. You guys have a very blessed week.